Streaming. Let's see how well this works. Go live. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. All right, we're going to give this a few minutes to populate. So let's copy video URL. Meet you. Social. Minus 50,000 from. Alrighty, folks. So we are looking at the Thaumaturge, as I am a horrible enunciation. So, you know, get what you will from the title of that video. But we are going to answer the all-important question. Does it Linux? I actually did the demo for this. So the question is kind of self-answered, but this is more of a refined full product now, so not a demo from November. But we all know I am a story RPG guy, and this is a isometric game as far as story. So it is done in the old school Diablo, old school kind of Infinity Engine games, or for those that want more contemporary, Pillars of Eternity and those style of games. Definitely, it's either going to be a love or take game. Just from the initial clip that I played through. But first thing I want to get into is the options. So lots and lots of options here. Sure, let's make that. So for those who are wondering, this is being played on a Radeon RX 6600M. I don't know if you can see that up in the corner. Right now we're doing borderless, resolution scaling, TSR. Everything is at epic. There's no frame generation. Epic, as you can see. Enable gameplay. They do have a good stack of languages, so English, Polish, Spanish, and a few others. French, Russian, Chinese, Dutch, and English. As far as difficulty, I always do like, especially story or narrative heavy games that allow you to just kind of focus on the story. They have balance. There's combat and stuff in this, etc., etc. Sound, mess around with all your sound settings, mouse and keyboard settings. Accessibility, always an interesting one. Nudity enabled, blind enabled, colorblind mode, probably going to matter. Increased text size. I don't need it, but it's cool that they have these options for people. So let's get into the game, shall we? Yes, I want to start a new game. I will say they have smoothed out the cinematics a lot. Or did you just crash? I don't know. Let's find out. So they have smoothed out the cutscenes, which is nice to see, because before they were not the most stable. I believe I'm using experimental, so this might not be the best indication, but worst comes to worst, I can always mess around with the cinematic settings and stuff. So right now we're getting about 30 FPS. Yeah. Most of my games down on Steam Deck, so I generically don't care. So like those kind of things really don't. So that stuff doesn't really bother me, but hey, whatever. But now we're up to 45, and just kind of bouncing back and forth. Let me know how the audio is on the game side, because obviously I'm not hearing any of it. So this takes place in, I believe, like 1905 Poland, if I am not mistaken. And this is kind of like a cross between a mysticism game and modern stuff. So it's an interesting kind of style of game. Ooh, that's a hell of a drop. 26, 27, 25, 27. I mean, this is definitely eating a lot of RAM for video. I will say that. Or what, 7.4, 7.5, 7.4 out of the 8 gigs that are on this card. Little yikes, not gonna lie. But it's weird, then you'll get into this where it goes back up to 60 frames, so like, who the hell knows? And yes, this does have the newest patch. They had a patch come out, 1.01, that fixed a few things. So I'm waiting to see if this frame rate actually stabilizes out somewhat. But I can already see there's been improvements in the frame rate since even the demo from November, which, 3-4 months ago at this point. So that's at least a positive sign. Again, for those that are gonna frame rate, I am not a big frame like. I played on the Steam Deck 90% of my gaming, or the other handheld that I got, which is the One X player. So those are about the only two that I really play on. PC gaming, I've kind of gotten into the console gamer mentality at this point, honestly, or the old school console gamer mentality. Let's see. Hopefully I trick on him.
Arrived. Very beautiful views. People honest at first glance. Sincerely, your barely living cripple.
I didn't mean to cause offense.
Well, then strike that, please. Take this down, please. Arrived. I think I have found him. I hope you will receive.
I will write as soon as I am able.
As soon as I may.
And payment?
And payment?
On receipt.
On receipt.
Anything to add at the end?
What do I want to do? Send a greeting to my sister or aggravate my father? I'll aggravate my father. What the hell?
Father, I'm writing bad checks in his name all over Europe.
From whom?
My name is Viktor Szulski. Szulski.
Victor, not Victor. It's Victor. Make sure you get that shit right.
The name. Where's this headed?
Warsaw, Russia.
And this is supposedly Georgia. Russia here and Russia there. Russia everywhere. On every map.
Maps change.
Maps change.
I know. Let's get on with it.
Pardon?
I was talking to myself. Which way to the village?
The coachman is picking up the mail. Maybe he'll give you a ride.
Thank you.
Looney.
So give us a minute to kind of kick around. So WSAD moves you. Like I said, very, very much isometric style game. Now you can go outside. So once you get into more open stuff, it kind of tanks a bit on the frame rate, but whatever. Let's see. Read. So this is a very this is a very narrative heavy game. So do keep that in mind. So if narrative is not your thing, you are probably not going to enjoy this fucking game. For me, so they have this cool little thing that if you right click, at least for me anyway, if you right click, you'll see that perception meter there kind of telling you where you need to go. That I actually enjoy. I think it's I know a lot of people will complain about, like I want to explore and I don't need waypoints for everything. Yeah, for some people, like having the option there, I don't think is a bad idea, honestly. And far too often do we hear whining and complaining that we're, ew, you're not giving me the option. Alright, so you're gonna go there, huh? Can I go anywhere else? Is my question. Or is it all just right by the train station? All right by the train station. Okay. So like I said, if you've played any of like Pillars of Eternity or those style of games, you'll kind of get what you're gonna end up playing, essentially. Just more narrative focused. It's got a very Mass Effect vibe as far as conversation feel and the kind of close-ups and stuff that it uses.
The village is what interests me.
Or for those that are not into Mass Effect, for similar narrative-heavy games, kind of like Heavy Rain and those kinds.
So is it just locals living in the village?
Who else would want to live in a shithole like this?
I actually meant,
So
is there anyone visiting?
those that are wondering, this is published by 11-Bit Studios and it was developed by Fool's Theory. So, and if I remember correctly, Fool's Theory is made up by folks from People Who Can Fly and some of the old CD Projekt Red folks, if I am correct on that. I might be wrong, though. There's been a few different companies that have that combination of folks.
You getting in or what?
So the one thing I do like is, like, just aesthetically speaking, for the graphics and stuff, I think they really kind of nailed that vibe. Some people might not really care for it because of just aesthetically speaking. Some people won't care for it, and that's fine. Aesthetics are very much a personal flavor. It's kind of like gaming in general, very, very personal flavor. But I think they nailed it pretty well for the most part. A lot of drab colors kind of sets the tone for more of a depressing nature, but can't really blame them for that, given the themes of the game and that kind of stuff. Give this a minute to repopulate. Find the miracle worker in the tavern. Is there an actual map? No. There is an actual map. Holy shit. So overall, the maps seem to be more, they're not open, but they're more hub is probably the best way to describe it. They're more open hub. So you can explore them and stuff, which I'm totally fine with. Like, that stuff doesn't bother me. I know it bothers some people, but it doesn't bother me. Thaumaturge. Protective charms. So they do little things like this where it's just kind of like a lot of environmental stuff and that kind of jazz, which I really do like.
Gentlemen, is the tavern here? Hey, Putnik. You coming from far? Indeed, I'm tired.
Indeed, I'm tired.
Good.
Nice boots, they're warm.
Actually, I have particularly warm boots.
You fed the flaw of pride.
Sooner or later, these might kick their arses.
Don't tempt me.
No, Timely, don't give me a second to get this sort out the formalities with this tourist.
It's your Znami. We are the Tsar's soldiers.
We're the Tsar's soldiers.
Those don't look like soldiers.
Doesn't look like soldiers' faces, closer to thieves. Sarcasm. I don't think he'll talk to us voluntarily. Let's find out. Alright, victory conditions. When your enemy loses all their health points, blah, blah, blah. So, very there. Start fight. Alright. Okay, so this uses kind of like a card system, which this almost reminds me of, what game is it? Is it Joe Devers' Lone Wolf? This is kind of what this reminds me of. So that's one of those games that not a lot of people are going to know, which, whatever, you do you as far as that. But action cue. Perception allows you to anticipate the enemy to find what they're planning. Unfold the action cue at the top. Okay. So they're using precision cuts. And I just punched him in the face. Again. You gonna cut me? Yep. Ooh, 1. Let's see. So interestingly, if you look up here where your rounds are, like this is when his attack is going to be. So if I plan this, you'll see the gray bar below it. That'll tell you where I'm attacking. I'll be attacking sooner than he will. And down he goes! Knocked out quicker than a Jake Paul, a former MMA opponent.
They won't report us. They'll be too embarrassed to admit some cripple got the better of them.
One thing I do like is that they reward you for exploring. Not something you get a lot. So sometimes in some of these games you don't get that, which is super annoying, I think, personally. I hate games that don't reward you for, exploring and just do it. Experience. All right, let's look at powers. Okay, so on the Grimoire cover there, Thurgamary points that you can spend on the tree, purchase skill upgrades, improve your powers within any dimension, and hunt saluters, then it will further develop. Continue. Perception. Okay, so they have an interesting kind of upgrade system. Very, it almost reminds me of what game is it? Hunted Demon's Forge. This is kind of what this scale reminds me of as far as the overall features and functions of it. Many people have flaws, but my heroes are aware of their existence. These are blemishes and personalities created as a result of turbulent experiences. They attract saluters and allow young thaumaturges to make a pact with their flaw is pride. If you nurture it by making the right choices, it will impact the course of future events. Okay. Continue. I haven't acquired any new flaws. These must be different thaumaturges that you have. Okay, interesting. So I really didn't dive deep into like the game mechanics when I looked at the original Rasputin.
Forgive me, sir. Is your name Grigory Efimovich Rasputin?
Satan himself, as some would have you believe back in, the Lenin times.
I'm sorry. It's just I've been looking for you for a very long time,
And you expected a thinking simpleton, an illiterate who swindles sick people and claims he can speak to God himself. I already said I forgive you.
yes.
It's because that's what you claim, Rasputin, in real life.
I've also heard about the healings.
you believe in?
If you help me, I'll believe all of it. And please believe me when I say I've tried everything short of a miracle. And I know the meaning of that word. I'm a Thaumaturge.
Oh, Thaumaturge.
Coming from?
I'm from
I'm just gonna say I'm born in Warsaw. We'll leave it at that.
Poland.
From which Poland? The Russian one, the German one, or the part that belongs to Austria?
From Warsaw.
Do you have a name?
Viktor Szulski.
Victor Zelensky.
People who've lied to me about their problems and then gone around calling me a charlatan. After them, others arrived.
Pitchforks and torches had to endure until spit in my face and or flee for my life.
And spit in my face or flee for my life. And now you say you're a wizard from an imaginary country that no one has seen on a map in over 100 years. Forgive my amusement. I haven't had my first coffee yet.
I forgive you, and I'm still asking for help.
Prove you're a Thaumaturge, and I'll hear what you have to say.
That's partly the issue I wanted to speak to you about.
Does that mean you give up?
That means I'll try, but I don't know.
All right, all right. I've met a few of your kind, so I know what you're capable of. Find something in this tavern that belongs to me, and tell me something only
Tell me something only I could know.
First,
Hmm.
I need to have something personal that belongs to you to learn your trace. It's a sort of pattern I'll use to recognize the other objects.
Grab his head and smash it against your knee. There you go. Prayer beads. Time on the zeal gushing from these beads impregnates the wall better than the towel. Examine the object. Of course. Durr.
Have you figured anything out yet?
I'll return to you in a moment.
I'll return to you in a moment.
I can hardly wait.
I can hardly wait. Sarcasm.
Let's take a look around.
Dirty bowl that someone has eaten stew from. Okay. Nothing there.
Careful you don't get achy feet. You're not too worn out. You look a little peaked.
Any moment now.
I have all day.
already had that, so... There.
Rasputin is an exceptionally colorful character.
Draw a conclusion. Species an exceptional colorful character. He sees his practice aimed at penance and struggling against human passions. Interesting. Okay. Is there anything else? There. Nothing there. Search the tavern and find Rasputin's items. I think that's pretty much it.
Don't get angry. You're not too long. I have a
Oh, I got a couple items. I don't know where the hell they are. So, let's see. Aha.
Who would have thought there were
Found ya.
such layers of passion within him?
What have you learned, wizard?
Well, you're a zealous man.
Not such an impressive.
I haven't finished yet. In Petersburg, you left behind a very devoted and very
Young lady in waiting.
lady in waiting.
At least one, my friend.
You are full of bitterness and resentment toward those who forced you to leave Petersburg. It taught
I have no control over my dreams, but I doubt it takes magical powers to guess I'm not fond. Have a seat.
Have a seat.
Tell me again.
I am not fond of those who...
What are you looking for?
Why were you looking for me? Ask about the lady in waiting. I can't help but ask.
that young lady from Petersburg.
Careful. I'm starting to like you. But not enough to tell you about Petersburg. How do you think I might help you?
A few years ago, I attempted to catch a wild saluter, and that ended with me.
So the thing I do like about this game so far is the fact that
That means I can't develop my abilities. I know that my
it's even in its kind of like glum, serious nature, it doesn't take it so super serious, which is I always enjoy when a game does that. Has a lot of graphical settings, which is nice to see.
I'll lose my sense of reality.
Optimization, I mean, granted, I could probably drop some of the graphic settings down a little bit and go to high and still be perfectly fine at 60.
I've got money, if that's what matters.
Give it to the needy. Your riches mean nothing to me.
So, yes, overall, see, these kind of games are slow burns. So, they take a little bit to get into. So, usually, these style of games for me, it probably take me 2 to 3 hours to really kind of get into it.
We can try.
This is very much reminiscent of like a David Cage style game or a Don't Nod style game. So it takes a little bit to try to get into stuff. You're safe as long as you hear my voice. You're safe. Let me in. Let me in. I don't want to let you the fuck in.
Where am I? Rasputin. There's no one in here.
So like right now you can kind of see the frame rate is kind of tanked. Again, some of this I could probably drop a few graphical settings. Let's see. Options. We'll just drop you down to high and see if that changes anything. So high. I would say kind of the optimization could be a bit better. It's not a stellar in that regard. I mean, like as you can tell, just going to high settings goes to a from a 60, 70 ish during the cutscenes to 106. So pick your poison, how you want stuff.
Can you still not see?
What do I supposedly not see?
Flaw clouds your vision. It always has. Pride.
Flaws cloud your vision. It always has. Pride. Your damn pride and sense of blah blah blah. I do like the fact that they incorporate like flaws.
You'll lose, idiot. You always do. You're even losing against yourself.
Or even losing against yourself. You can't see, but you can at least hear. You weak, stupid, and blind. So for those wondering if this game does it Linux, yeah, it Linuxes. I have not tried this on Windows actually. I did the demo on Linux, and I did the full game on Linux, and this is how it works. It's not terrible as far as overall. Again, some of the optimization could be a bit better, but that's just more.
Will you be lying there much longer? I wanted to sweep.
Where's Rasputin?
In the cemetery, chasing away evil spirits and giving people comfort. You all right?
Yes, absolutely.
I wanted to sleep.
That is. But
I'm
yeah, so
It's so good to see you again.
no, you're definitely receiving enough video. Shut up.
And something else. I saw a clear as day.
So optimization could be a little bit better. Not gonna lie. No, I'm not using this on a slouchy card. Not using it on like super high end machine, but like not terrible either.
You talking to me?
I was praying.
So, but graphically, on these style of cutscenes and stuff that it's doing, looks really good. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely a lot more playable now. I am curious to see what the frame rate's going to be when I actually get out of here. So yeah, like this could definitely use some optimization. Not gonna fucking lie.
I felt some.
They'll go gawk, but without lifting a finger. Just Vesna will bring it, Vesna will help. But if Vesna needs help with something, there's nobody to be found. That's not yours, don't touch. All these newcomers' cousin.
A distinct trace of the fruit and consists of a heart fluttering in panic and a throat clenching. A bite of this apple would taste pure fear. Interesting. So these are like a multi-layered investigation stuff that you like kind of go through.
Am I sensing?
Dead goose. Someone or something strangled this goose. Cool. Let's, interject and be annoying.
I reject this verdict. Well, I expected as much. And
I said what I said, and I won't change my mind. Go away. You're attracting gawkers.
not gawkers. Oh, because you strangled mine. And what do I care about some
Because we already know you strangled the goose, but you still haven't proved that bog.
Where is the just?
Why don't you relax and listen to the words of a wise woman?
Well, all in all.
Come inside and tell me.
Thaumaturge. Yeah, of course you never seen anything like it because there ain't nobody else like it. Saw the doorstep, unwanted visitors, and other misfortunes.
The villagers seem to have a certain respect for you, ma'am, so I wanted...
I'm not getting any younger, boy.
A lot of people...
Pot calling kettle. That, my boy, that you can ask that charlatan with fancy dress and beard. Who? The people here are believers, of course.
Do you mean...
He didn't bring that evil spirit. We brought it on our... I heard it howling. We here.
But other places probably call it other...
An evil spirit's an evil spirit. It torments people and turns their weak...
And what if I told you
I'd say I'll believe it when I see it.
I believe it when I see it. Didn't you just tell Rasputin that?
Well then... Am I sensing... I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over. I'm telling you, go away, or I'll call for help.
What are you doing?
I'm not looking for trouble. I just...
We'll talk, all right.
Excuse me. for fight. Let's see. Strong attacks and focused. Alright, strong attacks. Breakdown state. Continue. Okay. Oh, got punched in the face. So did I. Diversion. Concussion. Oh, you got beat in the head. Diversion. Bloody presence. Out like a light you go. Like in a Jake Paul fight.
The devil sent you.
You could say that, sure.
See what happens now.
I wanted.
Huh. So the Thaumaturge, again, terrible enunciation of certain words. I definitely enjoy it. I think this is one of those games that you really have to like and want a specifically you really want a story focused game. For some people it's not going to be their cup of tea. It's just kind of a slow burn, but I mean, from my perspective, I'm totally fine with that because I actually enjoy those style of games. So the shifting between cutscenes of like the this kind of isometric view to more of like a Mass Effect vibe where it's like up close and personal with the characters is definitely one that I can get behind as well. Some people won't care for it. Totally get that too. I know for me personally, I kind of like that vibe where it just does different things. And tries doing something a little bit different. Again, kind of slow, but a little more optimization would be nice. Like this really shouldn't be eating 7 gigs of RAM for just the kind of game it is. Graphically speaking, it looks good. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say it doesn't look good, but they could do with some fixing of some stuff as far as that optimizations and whatnot. But overall, I kind of enjoy it. So will I keep playing it? Probably. I got a few other games to finish up before I hop onto this. Last I looked, at least from how long to beat, I believe it's about 18 hours with some side quests, give or take. So I'd probably say about 15 probably to beat this, quote unquote. Other than that, the major question of does this story narrative focused RPG does it Linux? And the answer is yeah, with some tweaks, but I'm not sure if that's a Linux issue or if that's specifically to something else. I don't know because I'm not testing this on Windows, so we'll find out. But other than that, guys, you guys know what to do. Comment, rate, subscribe. Any y'all at Patreon, Humble Bundle. All those links are down in the description if you want to support the channel. Other than that, I will catch you guys on the flip. Peace.